Hello, everyone. We're finally doing this. Let's see. Where is Tabitha? Come on.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you for a moment. Yeah, the audio on your end is not clear, so I'm not sure what it is. Not really, no.
Okay, give me 1 second.
It got better now when you were moving. I don't know.
I don't know where I
Yes.
should sit. It's good now?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just hold my phone.
Hi everyone, welcome
everyone.
to this beautiful live collab that we've been wanting to do for a while, and then I was just like, let's just plan it already. So today we're talking about body image and how to also manifest your dream body with 3 steps. And I also was hoping to like bring some of your questions here so that we can answer them live and share our stories as well together. You're comfortable to have, of course. And yeah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Of course, I'm really excited right now. I don't know why. I usually I can control my emotions, but I just feel very excited. Anyway, I am Tabitha, also known as Subliminal Goddess, and I am mainly a manifestation coach along as a hypnotherapist. I focus on subconscious reprogramming to manifest. So basically making all of that process of manifestation subconscious so you can manifest all that you want on autopilot. There's lots of things that I love. Lately, I've been diversifying a lot of my content, but if anyone wants to learn more, you can check out my profile and see more.
Awesome. And hello, for anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Rozana. I am a self-concept mindset coach. I also focus a lot on manifestation, but my core focus is self-concept, and I'm kind of like branching out as well to different topics. My main focus used to be manifesting love and SPs, and that is something I still teach, but it's only for people who are like working with me one-on-one and some classes here and there. I just wanted to like expand this a little bit more because I noticed the focus was still on like trying to change something on the outside when the outside is just a reflection of the inside. So I've been branching my content a lot more this year on like working through fears, how to actually shift your self-concept. And a lot of my work is focused on the practical side of manifesting, that it's not just, oh, visualize and affirm. It's like, how do you actually get to the feeling? How do you actually tap into a state of being? How do you actually let go of the old story when you're struggling to, right? Because the how to is what's missing in the community in a lot of ways. So I wanted to create something practical that helps like encompass both the mind and the body so that they're aligned and nothing is like, all over the place. So yeah, so anyone who's new here, hello, and you are more than welcome here on my page. I'm also very direct, so my content can be triggering for some people. I'm just like, this is what it works, this is what doesn't. I don't want to waste your time. And thank you for whoever said that we're both pretty. I appreciate
Thank
the praise.
you. Also, she's giving tough love, but it's needed. Okay? I mean, I still wish I was like you, giving tough love. But like, I don't know, I cannot really do that. And I love the way that you do that. And I love the way that you say things. And you help me a lot. Like, even in your posts, you do give lots of value.
Oh, you're so sweet. I mean, the thing is with like tough love, there's like a level to it that I'm not that I don't fully get on board with that. Like I know there's tough love teachings where pretty much the coach berates you or like yells at you. I'm like, holy, that is not a coach. Tough love is just like basically like telling you like get on track, do the work, this is what works, this is what doesn't. If you want results, this is what you do. So it's kind of like getting you to do the thing, and it should be inspiring and motivating, not, putting you down. So your content is also beautiful, and especially love the awareness that you've been bringing on a lot of different topics. Because like I know your main focus was like manifesting your dream body, and then like it's still that, but like you branched out in different ways, and you also had like your own journey, personal journey, which like opened up stuff.
Yeah, well, you already know I'm mainly focused on manifesting physical appearance. That's, to be honest, mostly because that's I think one of the most challenging things that I have been able to do and that I have struggled with for years. And well, I like to focus on that just because I could do it, right? So I know exactly the frustration, the anger, all of that stuff.
Yeah, I actually was gonna start. I had a self-love blog before, way before I created this account, and it was just like focused on self-love and body image, because like I struggled a lot with like my weight, and I struggled a lot with like experiencing body shaming, which is like one of the worst things. And one day I shared this on another collab, which I'll share soon on the page. I talked about how I suddenly like woke up one day and I was like, I am missing out on life because I'm scared of how I'm gonna look in clothes. Like, hell no. And that's how like my journey started. And while I love like helping people like manifest their dream bodies, I think there's a level to it that can be unhealthy, or it can be like, how do I say this? It's like something like I got like a download today. It's that sometimes we're chasing things and they're actually the society's desires, not necessarily our desires. That's not to say there's anything wrong with like wanting to build muscles or lose weight, because I do it too. I lost over 20 kilos in the past year. But it's like, are we doing it because we're chasing societal desires, their standards? Because if that's the case, we will always chase societal standards. And as we know, it's always changing. One day, oh, you should have thick brows. No, thin brows. Oh, you shouldn't be skinny, but be thick on from this area.
True.
Or no, you should be completely skinny. And if we continue to chase that, obviously we'll never truly tap into our own self-sovereignty, where we have our own voice of, this is what I want, this is what I agree with, this is what I don't agree with. So yeah, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to create this collab.
Yeah. And it's very true. I can say from my own experience that when I was getting results, like physical results, right, for a few moments I was feeling amazing and my confidence was boosted. But after, like, over time, you get adjusted to the new you, your new look, and then you want something else and something else and something else. And this can kind of be a trap. And I just see this a lot. Like, now this is trendy. Now that is trendy. So you have to be that, and then you have to be that.
Yeah. And we see it a lot also in like the, celebrities. Nothing against them, but it's like the thing that becomes trendy is like what this big celebrity now did and how they changed about their face. And it's like, now we all have to do it. Again, nothing wrong with like wanting to change physical appearance. It's more so, is the intention behind it is like, this is my true desire, or is it because I want to feel like pretty? Because if it's you want to feel attractive, you're always going to be chasing this notion, and even when you get to this shape that you want to get into, you will still be afraid of like getting it back. The struggle, people say like, oh, I'm struggling to maintain the weight.
Yeah.
So it's about you being able to finally like say like, I'm gonna love me now when I have the body that I want, and after that, because as you said, whatever it is that you manifest, it's gonna be your normal eventually. Yep. You're gonna go home and it's one of the things that you're used to. Like, people want kids so bad, and then one day they're used to like, oh, my children at home. It's not this thing that feels the same way like the first day you had maybe the partner, the job, the car. So definitely like this stillness and connection within is like the most important piece, which is like what takes us to the first point of the first way to manifest your dream body is like, you said it yourself, it's healing.
Yeah.
People don't want to hear that, and they say it's a limiting belief. But it's also the people who say that it's a limiting belief are the people who keep wavering and going back and forth. No shade, but genuinely, if you think about it, when you have someone that you are in a relationship with, for example, and you have insecurities about your body, you're always going to wonder, oh, are they just saying that I'm pretty because they want to validate me and make me feel better? Do I actually still look good? Oh my god, now this thing changed. Are they still going to find me attractive? Oh, am I going to look good when I wear this? So I actually don't have my notes, so this is just like coming in as it is. So the first step obviously is healing, and you want to
Healing,
hear something like,
yeah, your body image,
yeah,
your self-talk around your body, or your face, or everything that's about your body.
yeah,
Because we want to manifest something, and I see lots of people that they say, yeah, I want this so bad, like I want to look like this, but now I look like this, and I hate myself, and I hate my face, and I don't want to look in the mirror, and when I look in the mirror I get like pissed off and angry, and I'm trying to hide from the mirror. And I used to be there. I used to hide from the mirror. I used to have panic attacks while looking in the mirror, and like being dissociated from my body. I mean, like, this is me. This is really me. Like, how is this me? How do others view me? And I've realized that my body image was so low, and my self-esteem, when it was about the way that I looked, was so low. It didn't matter what I was doing, like superficially, right, on the outside. I needed to go deep,
yeah,
so that not only I was getting what I wanted, like manifest my desired body, but be at peace with myself and feel good.
yeah,
And it's different when you manifest from a place that you are healed, versus when you are manifesting from a place that is like focused on hatred and frustration and panicking and anxiety. It's very different.
oh yeah. And when I say like the first step is healing, like the way I like to break it down is, first of all, self-talk. Secondly, reprogramming your subconscious, right?
Yeah.
So self-talk, the way that I like to explain it, it's like whatever the way you speak to yourself, like you saying, "Oh, it's this ugly, and my stomach is this, and my legs are this, and I look like I don't know, an elephant," whatever people say about themselves. If you take that self-talk and you imagine someone else saying it to you or saying it to your friend, you're gonna find it, trigger warning, you're gonna find it very abusive. And so when you tend to realize that you're being your own bully, you're being your own parent, maybe you're being your own societal standard, cultural, whatever, you'll be able to catch it every time and realize that these are not actually your thoughts.
Yep.
That's theirs being fed to you. So you need to start being the parent that you wanted to have and the friend that you wanted to have. And that's something I always tell to people is like, if this is something you will never say to a friend, don't you dare say it to yourself. You will never go to a friend and say, "Oh man, your nose is too big. Ugh, I don't like
Right.
the way you look," So through changing that self-talk, not only does it align you with the version of you who loves the body that they're in, the version of you who has their dream body, it also starts to like reprogram. That's part of like reprogram years of like your self-talk, the way that you were spoken to, the way that you were berated, talked down to, and
Yeah.
things like that. And thank you again for whoever said we look beautiful. So,
Thank you.
yeah, so how do you go about reprogramming the subconscious mind?
Okay, for this part, this is like the thing that I love most. I love conscious work, but sometimes when you are in the beginning, when you don't know what to do, you can work with the subconscious. And I love doing this by creating subliminals for people, right?
Yeah,
That they are, for example, even if you don't know, like you need to identify what your mindset is about body image. You don't know. Let's say you don't know. You have no idea where to start. You can listen to a subliminal that's meant to reprogram your subconscious so that you can identify your problem, your issue, what your self-concept is, and all of these things, anything that you'd like. I love to say it like you are communicating with your subconscious like your best friend.
mm-hmm.
And all of those subconscious patterns, emotions, and thoughts, they'll start to come to you in a conscious manner, like in thoughts. You'll get more of those thoughts. You'll get maybe dreams, because the subconscious loves to communicate through dreams. Or you'll have these flashbacks. It happened to me so many times, and it still does. And I just have like flashbacks. I listen to subliminals, and I have a flashback of something that happened a long time ago, that triggered me, that led me to a mindset, that led me to certain belief systems. So if you work like that and you communicate directly with the subconscious, you can heal and
Yeah.
do anything. Because all of that will come to your conscious awareness and then to your reality.
this is something I was just doing with a client before I got on the call, which is like, if you go in meditation and meet the version of you who felt that way for the first time, that felt so insecure, that experienced, any form of body shaming, if you go back to that time, you can listen and hear what this person needs. And so when you give that version of you what they needed at the time, and also look at what they need from you now, you will start to, like, one, connect with that past self, two, heal the shame or the guilt or the pain or whatever it is that manifested that day, right? And as we, like, look at how our body feels when these triggers come up, we can break the pattern from there.
Exactly.
Because now it's no longer autopilot. Now it's like, oh, when I am worrying about what other people think of me, I start to feel maybe like my muscles are contracting. I'm starting to feel like my heart is beating fast. So from there, I can talk to these parts of me, give them what I need, heal them, and also take that as like feedback. So it's not that, oh, I'm going back to the old me. It's that this is showing me what I need to let go of to step into the new me, right? And a huge part of healing is clarity work. Clarity on what you need to let go of. When was the first time it started? And if you don't know like the exact dates of that, it's not necessarily like the big deal, but the more you know, the better, of course. Why is that something that you're still holding on to? Why does it hold that much weight onto you? From there, you can like start shifting your perspective, and a shift your perspective is shifting your state of being, right? So the more we start doing that, connecting with these parts of us, changing our self-talk, getting clear on also what is the desired version of us, the desired body, that's when we can start to get to the point where, okay, now I'm going to practice being that. So, yeah. Let me see. For those who are saying, someone said move to the Q&A. No, I won't move right now. We're talking about the three steps. Once we're done, we'll get to the Q&A.
Yeah.
And if you stay and listen, you will hear a lot of like your questions getting an answer. And that takes us to the next point, which is I don't have my notes, so it's just gonna be whatever it is coming up. The next point here is like, finding your archetype. Finding your archetype meaning like selecting someone who has the vision that you want, the body that you want, and then look at how do they show up. What is their relationship with food? What is their relationship with their body? How do they feel when they go shopping? How do they feel while they're eating? How much do they believe that anything is possible for them? Because whenever I post anything, the question is always, can I manifest changing my eye color? Can I manifest this thing with my skin? Dr. Joe Dispenza literally talked about people who healed cancer through meditation. You can absolutely manifest anything. So it's not just about knowing you can manifest anything. It's about embodiment is like you walking as that person who knows that they have that body. You approach your clothing, the way that you dress, the way that you think and speak about it. Because that's what embodiment is. It's like your mind is aligned and your body feels on board with these new statements and new visualizations, right? And one way that, I don't know how you do, we're going to get to that in a moment. One way that I tell my clients to do is like, you can visualize that body that you want. If you can't see yourself in it, then select an archetype. And then you can step into like their body and watch yourself and feel like almost like your arms are morphing, your whatever it is that you want to change, your hips, whatever. Watch it shift and morph, or even like watch it shrink or expand, whatever it is that you're looking to do. And just like walk in that for even like 5 minutes in meditation. Get out of it, breathe, think, feel as that person now, right? So, how do you do it? How did you do it?
Okay, well, this is something I've talked about a few months ago. I've came like with a name for it because I didn't know how to call it, and I called it the rebirth technique. I don't know if you've seen it. And I was like, okay, this is about embodiment, but what do I mean when I say embodiment? Well, I used to have a persona within. Like, I used to see myself in a certain way, right? So that had to do with everything about myself, including the way that I looked and the way that I perceived myself, the way that others perceived me, and everything in between. So it's like, what do I want to be? What do I want to be? I need to be specific from my style, from the way that I walk, the way that I feel, the way that my mannerisms, my everything. So I took the example of Marilyn Monroe. I love her, an icon. She used to embody this persona of Marilyn, right?
Yeah.
So she used to see herself as, you know, the usual Norma Jean. She was ignored. She wasn't like popular. She wasn't a celebrity. And when she embodied Marilyn, this character, this persona that she started to embody, everything in her life changed. So I've done the same. And I was like, you know, what about I'm creating a name for this persona? Now you don't have to necessarily name it, but I wanted to name it, and I named mine Phoebe. I was like, oh, I can embody Phoebe. I know exactly what she looks like, the way she walks, her style, and I started to brainstorm all of these details and write them down. And once that I started doing that, I realized that I could just tap into it by thinking of it. So right now in this moment, I feel insecure. How is Phoebe? She's very confident, very beautiful. She's radiant. Her aura is different. And I was just like, okay, thinking about it, embodying it, starting to feel different. That like changed so much for me, and the manifestation of the body as well. Because the body listens. The body listens what you're saying. The body listens what you embody. So the more you embody what you want, the more you notice having it physically.
I like what you said, because also part of like embodiment is also like, if you notice, when you're being someone specific, you resonate with specific content. Like, you know, when you see memes about, you know, these self-destructive memes. There was one in COVID which annoyed me so much. It was about like, if you don't like and leave this pandemic unless you've like lost weight or I don't know what, done what, then you failed, something like that, which I thought was, I don't know who thought this was a good idea to post. And a lot of people like resonated with that post. And also I see like, you know, the fat shaming memes or the memes about being unsuccessful. The things that you resonate with come from the identity that you've stepped into. Because when you're being someone specific, you have a specific taste in music, you have a specific taste in the movies that you see, right? Like when you're, let's say you feel like you're in a dark phase, it doesn't really interest you to watch something that's like comedic or lighthearted. You want something that you resonate with. So looking at what you're, sorry about that. Just a moment. Be with you. I'll be with you in a moment. I apologize.
No problem. How's everyone doing in the meantime?
Okay, the line is back.
I'm back.
What was I saying? Yeah, I was saying, so like with regards to like your archetype, also look at like what new habits do they have they cultivated? What new ideas do they have? New perceptions, right? Because like also the person who's confident in their body, there are specific conversations that no longer interest them. There are specific conversations that they no longer have. So what new standards would you set? How would you feel? And you know, when people say like, oh, I see this person has what I want, and I'm like, I'm left out. If you knew you had what you want, you would feel like, oh, that's me too.
Yeah.
So practicing that, like, oh, you know, these people who are like, I don't know, bodybuilders, whatever, that's me too. You know?
Exactly.
So resonating with the new mindset, and I like to also like listen to podcasts that helps with that, not just like you are the power. It's also like specific mindset related stuff that stretches your mind and allows you to like expand your vision even more. So what is your take on that?
Oh, I was thinking that I wanted to mention things like what you said about the embodiment part. I had this flashback right now when I like did not embody what I wanted physically. Like, you know, people say I'm checking the 3D, I don't see it. I used to be very obsessed with that, right? I used to go out and be so anxious, And I would step in my own head, and if someone looked at me, I used to be so triggered, like, why are they looking at me? Do I look ugly? Do I have something on my face? That was my reaction. And I started to be like, whenever someone looks at me, I'm just going to tell myself, they're looking at me because like, I wanted to look like two people, right? An actress and a model. And I was like, because they've seen me in like a TV commercial, like that model, or like they think I'm that actress from that TV show. And that like was like helping me embody, like truly embodied. And whenever someone looked at me, instead of being, oh, do I look ugly? Do I have something on my face? I'd be like, oh, they look at me because I'm so beautiful, because I look exactly like that. So that's why they look at me. And now someone might say, that's too much, or why would I say that about myself? But you would say that about someone else, right? Like, you're so beautiful, you look so good, you're so mesmerizing. How about telling that to yourself? And even if you do not believe it in the moment, through the practice, you'll start really believing it and really trusting that's true.
And what you just said, it's like it goes in line perfectly with both embodiment and healing, because like if you have any sort of uncomfortability surrounding receiving compliments,
Yeah,
looking at yourself in the mirror, saying that you're beautiful, or even saying to yourself that you love yourself, like if I say right now, stand in front of the mirror for 5 minutes and say out loud 3 times, I said 5 minutes, stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself, I love you, with your name. If that's bringing any sort of uncomfortableness, it's because there is like a part of you that's resisting that self-love, that's like leaning more towards, so that you necessarily hate everything about yourself. You could know your qualities, but it's that you're like, I cringe at this, it's like not for me. And the thing that you own is the thing that you have no problem saying to yourself, right? So definitely like owning who you are, owning how you look, loving you what you see when you look in the mirror. Practicing that alone, not only is it gonna help you become the person who loves being in the body that they want to have, it also genuinely like heals the pattern of the mental that's the self-talk that's incredibly toxic and unhealthy.
yeah,
And one of the reasons why I actually struggle with like talking here about body image is because I know, trigger warning, a lot of people struggle with eating disorder, and manifestation community doesn't always make it better by saying like, oh, you can just manifest anything, and looks down at healing and self-love. And so that's like one of the reasons I'm like, I don't want to share exactly like how I lost weight and things like that. So maybe part of healing and embodiment for some of you is working with a therapist on the eating disorder. So yeah, and I definitely suggest it. I'm not saying like I was never diagnosed with eating disorder. I had habits that were unhealthy. I had to stop them, and I spoke to someone who helped me through it, a professional. And yeah, so thought I would bring it up because someone mentioned in the comments eating disorders, and my heart goes out to you. I think the community needs more of like awareness when to draw the line between therapy and coaching.
Yeah, definitely.
Therapy is for disorders. Coaching, I just help you with mindset. I help you with manifestation, embodiment, and nothing wrong with talking to a therapist and opening up and speaking of your own story. It's already there. Whether or not you speak about it, your reality looks a certain way because it's subconscious, right? So you need to actually like literally make yourself talk about it, move through it, let it go, and then be able to tell the story. Because otherwise, like, this is what causes people to like experience panic attacks or extreme anxiety when they start to like embody the new story, or when the old story comes up, they're so freaking like terrified of it. But when we are able to face what's happening, it's not the thing that has a hold on us anymore. So yeah, I kind of rambled here, but
no, it's very true. It's very true, and I can resonate. Like, I needed therapy, and I went to therapy so that I could embody more, right? Because it's nothing like, we are being told in a way sometimes that it's a shame to get this help, right? But it's not about that. It's not shameful. It's not like you're not crazy. I was told I was crazy. Like, why would you go to therapy? You're crazy. No, it's not about that. Like, we all need that. I really do believe that everyone can go to therapy and everyone can get this help, right, from a professional. And it can help us so much, not only with the way that we feel, but the way that we are in general, and living life really to the fullest.
Yeah. And since someone asked about detachment earlier, detaching from like the circumstances, part of it, yes, is healing, and also part of it is like you genuinely going on and living life as that version of you. Like, what would they be doing, and also what do you have right now that aligns you with being that person? So let's say you want to embody like feeling free in your body, being able to like wear what you want and dance and whatever. If you can step into the general feelings of like freedom, doing things that make you feel free, you're gonna get there. So what are things that generally make you feel free? Activities, places. Add them more there. So if you're like practicing the general feeling, you're also being specific with your goals. You're visualizing it. You're letting go and healing the old stuff. You're practicing being your archetype, walking as that person, speaking as that person, letting go of the old habits. Then it has to manifest. So for anyone asking, can I do this? Can I do this? Yeah. Whatever it is that you're thinking about, yes, you can manifest it. Yes, you can. What we're asked about height, yes, yes, yes. It's always going to be yes. Move on from asking, can I, and start asking, what steps do I need to take?
Exactly.
We're wasting time asking, can I?
True.
We go on for a year asking, can I? Anything you want to add?
I wanted to say that it can help, and something else too. So there are people that ask me and asked me over the years if is this necessary for me to love myself to manifest, and I wouldn't say like it's necessary, but it does help like 99.9%. Because it's like I was saying, it's a different feeling when you are manifesting from a state of love than from a state of anxiety.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. I've seen so many arguments on Reddits and stuff like that about, oh, you can just intend it, and if like you have all the money in the world, then you have it and you manifest it. True. But if every time you receive money you question, oh, what did I do to gain this? I should have worked harder.
Yeah.
You don't feel deserving of what you have, and you're gonna keep going back and forth.
True.
And that's why it's a state. That's why it's hot and cold. Same thing with relationships, right? So it's not that it's the thing that you won't manifest without, you will. It's about the long-term result, not the instant gratification. It's about, I want to maintain this. I want a specific lifestyle. What are the right steps? Because like, honestly, even though it seems like the long route, self-love, it's actually the route that gets you there faster. And self-concept, of course. Because like, you're no longer fighting your resistance. The only reason why we're not staying on track is because of our insecurities.
True.
Think about it.
And you can take and this is something that I tell my coaching clients all the time, I want you to take your 3D, like your reality, your outside world, like a feedback of what is within. Yes. And what is within your self-concept will be projected on the outside, right? Yeah. It won't be that something you are manifesting from the inside out, not from the outside in.
Yes. And I understand we all get caught up sometimes. Like, I still get caught up. And while I feel so much better in my body and with food, that doesn't mean I never have insecurities.
Me too.
I do have them, but it's not a thing that will last for like a week like it did before, Yeah. Now it's like the thing that will go on for like a few hours at the most. Sometimes, honestly, even lasts minutes. And because I'm aware of like when it shows up and how it shows up, that I can see it as, oh, it's just this pattern.
Yeah.
And I had a friend, I don't know if she wants me to mention her name or not, but I have a friend who said, your fears are like playing dress up. Like, they show up in different ways. And I thought it was a really cool perspective. I'm like, girl, I want to post this and tag you. Tell me when you want me to post this and tag you. It's a really cool concept to look at because it's the same insecurity showing up in different ways. If I wear this, it's too stretchy and this is what it's going to look like on my body. if I do this thing, I'm gonna look weird when I'm doing it because of how big I am, or I'm too skinny, or I'm too whatnot. So yeah. And yeah, I remember you posted before a video about how you manifested your dream body, and since we've been talking about archetypes, you mentioned you had someone in mind, I think, and even like the structure of your face changed.
I had two people in mind actually.
Oh yeah.
Olivia Colpo, she's a model. She won Miss Universe in 2012, I think. And Hande Erçel, she's an actress, Turkish actress. And I really I wanted like a combination of them. And I was like, I don't like, after some time, after so many questions, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? How is it gonna happen? I started being like, I don't care how. I'm just gonna get it. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't care because I'm asking myself so many questions. I'm not allowing it to happen. I'm just allowing it to happen, and it will happen.
Yeah.
And well, it did.
And all you have to intend is like see it from like it's gonna happen, and obviously in a healthy way, because like I know people, and I mentioned this on the podcast, like I know people who like had intentions of like losing weight, and they had to like get sick in order to get that, and I was like, hell no.
No,
We're not manifesting that. So we want to make sure like our intentions are clear, and
healthy.
the how is not our business. Just we want to make sure that the path that we're taking is healthy, the mindset that we're cultivating is healthy, the way towards that is healthy.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just like thinking about all of that, it reminds me a lot of like my journey. I just I had to give up and get so sick and tired of me beating myself up, me feeling ashamed, and me wanting fast results. That's not to say again that I never fall into the mindset, because we're human beings. We exist here. We are going to feel all the feelings on a spectrum, right? As I always say, it's that when it got to a point where I was like, I literally can't go another day worrying about how much longer it's going to take, asking how can I make it happen fast, or how it's going to happen, because like at the end of the day, whether it happens through you deciding to exercise and eat clean, or you just suddenly wake up and feel great in your body and have the body that you want, you still get it in the end. And once you get there, you're not upset about how long it took you. Like anyone who has anything they want right now, you're not upset right now about, oh, I should have gotten 5 months earlier. That's something else.
I forgot what it was like even the process. I forgot. I'm just like enjoying it, right? Because you do like these things, they matter now. You feel like they matter so much and they're like everything, but after you get what you want, it's like they never were there.
Yeah.
It's like when did this happen? Because I feel good. I feel great.
Yeah, actually a few days ago I had like some self-doubts, and I was like, which are we really doing this again? Every single time you realize that you were worried for nothing. It's like, just no more, Sometimes you have to like step up and not take shit from yourself, and other times when it's like too intense, too heavy, you have to sit with that and
sit with it. Yeah.
So that being said, so far we've said first step to manifesting your dream body, healing your body image, your self-love, past experiences like do you have any insecurities. Second step is selecting an archetype that you want to step into and embody. And then third step, you want to continue carrying that through instant revision. I usually avoid the topic of instant revision, but for the sake of this conversation, I'll mention it. So instant revision is basically known as like this method where, you are faced with opposition, or you have opposing thoughts, and then you like affirm opposite that. So it doesn't have to be like this affirming all day kind of thing. More so, it can be like when you find yourself, since we're talking the concept of like body image and food. Let's say you're eating right now, and then you start finding yourself going down the road of like, oh my god, how many calories are in the bread? Does that mean I'm gonna gain weight? Does that mean? This is when we want to like stop ourselves, remind ourselves, this is a pattern. This is young me talking, who's scared. I don't have to feed into that anymore. Instead, I can start seeing it as like food is fuel. It's great. It all works great for my body, and use that as assumption to even help you get closer to your desired state. Like, yeah, carbs, they give me more energy, which is exactly what I need. I have more energy, I move more, so like making everything mean that it's working out for you, and just like allowing yourself to like get into that vibe more. So you've already like got clear of what your ideal self looks like, your ideal body, the new habits, new activities, new self beliefs, and things like that. Now you want to like commit to it through instant revision. So committing to it every day, that today I am deciding that I'm being the person who only speaks kindly about their body, who only allows themselves to feel in nothing but confidence in their skin. And something that I did in the past, which is like, I would look at my skin, I would say, thank you, I love you. And now that I have better skin and the one that I want, I feel that way naturally, that, oh, I love it.
Yes.
I'm blessed to have it. So because I felt blessed then, I was being it then, I'm being it now. Because I could have not been it then, and now that I have it, I could have been still worrying about, oh, but what about this thing? And what about this thing over here? Maybe I should have done this thing as well, So, yeah, hope that makes sense. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, it reminds me of something like skin related too. I had like severe acne for years, and I used to always tell myself, oh, I look ugly, oh, my skin is so bad, nothing works, nothing ever works for my skin. And like, I created this mindset that was so weird that no matter what treatment I use, my skin doesn't respond to it. Like, my skin was unable to respond, which, by the way, wasn't true. I went to another dermatologist, and guess what she told me? Your skin doesn't react to any treatment. And that was just because I told myself this so much. And I used to tell this so much that it became a reality. And I was like, what? How? Because like before, right, I used to use this cream and that's whatever, and it worked. I saw results. But then suddenly my skin was not reacting. I used to tell myself, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. And then she said, your skin doesn't react to anything anymore. No matter what you apply, it won't work. And I was like, oh my God, I think I created this. And I had that realization, and I started telling myself, you know what, I'm healing. My skin is healing. I'm finding something that really works for me and sticking to that. It's healing, and it's healing. And well,
Yes.
it healed. I found my something after years, and it worked.
Yeah.
After telling myself, nothing works. It's ugly. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Or hide my face. Like, don't look at my face. Don't look at my skin.
Oh my God, this reminded me, like, there was a time, if I had any acne, I would stress about like going out next week, and I would try like, these weird things that you find online, like rub a garlic on your acne. I'm so glad I'm done with this bullshit. I mean, even research shows that's not even good for your skin, but regardless, that just shows like the power of like intentions and assumption. And for people who like completely like have a lot of resistance to the idea that you don't need to do anything to create, then what if you start doing what you think you should do as you work on creating new assumptions until they're automatic responses. Because for example, let's say you think you need to like diet to lose weight. Start with maybe dieting, but in a way that's not like too restrictive. Maybe obviously discuss this with your doctors. Eating the fruits, vegetables that you enjoy, the complex carbs that you love, and so that you're always excited as you're about to eat. And while you're practicing that, practice changing your assumptions about specific food groups and how your body responds to food and your metabolism, so that you don't jump right away trying to force a belief, and then you see the opposite results of like eating too much of a specific food group that would cause you harm, right? So starting like with meeting yourself where you're at, looking at, okay, maybe I can do some skincare, and then I don't know, whatever it is that you want to do, if you want to keep doing it or not, until you build like your beliefs until you get there. So I know for me, I was like trying a lot of things, and even like the weird stuff that people say like it works overnight. I did all of that stuff. Obviously it did not work, made it worse. I always had acne here. I always had acne here and a lot of dark circles, and I would like feel so embarrassed to even like go out without any makeup. Now, I honestly want to, and like, so I take this off. Like, it looks beautiful, but I feel comfortable now with and without it, right? And I have no issue like going out without makeup. So what I started doing is like getting comfortable with my skin as it is, like taking pictures without filters, taking pictures without makeup, until it got comfortable enough. And I was like, I heard like when the lockdown happened, I found like a esthetician on YouTube. Her name is Cassandra Banks, and I love her content, so I started to watch skincare stuff, and I was like, oh my god, maybe this will work this time. She has the same issues. I believe this will work this time. It worked, and I did get from brands that are not like that expensive either, like the Inky List. I love that brand. And now I only incorporate skincare because I love to. I don't think that without this, I'm done. That's not to say we shouldn't like take precautions. Obviously we should take general precautions, like I know people say you have to use like SPF to protect yourself from the sun and things like that, but more so, are we doing it from a place of like fear, or are we doing it from a place of like love, and also you still being that version of you? So it's about, again, intention.
Yep. Wanted to give a little tip as well. You can use like a cream or something, like cream. This is not a cream, but whatever, like placebo, So like, this is going to clear my skin, and you really believe it, and that's what it's gonna do. I had this thing, like, I think I was 16, and I found this, I don't know, this brand that helped me, like, my skin was so beautiful and amazing, right? I was like, this is going to work, and it worked.
Yeah.
But after I didn't use it, I started getting these thoughts, without it, I don't have clear skin, without it, I'm done. And then that brand didn't exist anymore here.
Yeah.
Or like anywhere. And I was like, what am I gonna do right now? Yeah. And later on found something else. I was like, this is going to work. This is going to do everything.
Yeah.
And it did, because I really believed it. I really believed that's gonna change everything. And it did.
And someone said something really interesting in the comment. Thank you for reminding me, because I wanted to bring that up. Is stop saying like this food is bad and this food is good. And that's awesome that's like the concept that I try to tell people, is like, stop saying that this food is bad, that this emotion is negative, that this thought is wrong, that, I don't know, this acne is yucky. Stop saying that stuff, because it's very self-destructive, and it doesn't support you with like you even being what you want to be. And it's like, who said that stuff is yucky or bad? But shit you were fed when you were young. Sorry about my language. So stuff you were fed since you were young, right? So it's all beautiful. If you are able to step into seeing it all as beautiful, you're not gonna have as much resistance, and it will be so much easier for you to say, okay, this is where I am now. This is what I have right now. This is what I look like. Thank you. Next, that kind of vibe. Yeah, exactly. Or that this body is good and one is good. Like, that's the thing about, like, the body image movement. It's not about, oh, please go and be unhealthy or take part in like toxic habits. It's that throughout your journey, whatever you look like, you can look in the mirror and say that you are beautiful before, during, and after you get what you want. And that's a way better way to live than to hate yourself and hate how you look until you get what you want. Like, that's not even a way to live, because like most of our lives is the journey, right? We think there's a destination, which is like getting the job, getting the money, but you celebrate that destination for like 5 minutes, and then you're that employee, you're that partner, you're that I don't know what. So most of your life is a journey, and journey is the destination, pretty much.
Yes. And someone said perspective matters. Perspective changes everything.
Literally. Okay. So are there questions related to body image and body image and manifesting your dream body? Any questions? You can drop them in the comments. Yes, I will post this live later. We're not talking about lucid dreaming today. um, why? So in the little question box, someone said like when they manifest for others, it works fast, but it's different when you do it for yourself. First of all, that's your assumption. Secondly, you obviously don't have resistance to people having what you want. Or you could even have a belief that everyone gets what I want except me, I'm the unlucky.
Yeah.
So these beliefs in themselves need to be changed. Are there any questions? Me or Tabitha can answer it.
For next question. One sec.
Manifest body for a partner. So I'll share my perspective and then I'll let Tabitha share her thing.
Okay, should I go first?
I mean, whatever, it's fine.
Okay. Just like little thing, like that I don't think you should be manifesting your body for someone else.
Yeah.
Cause like, what if you are with someone now and they like a certain body type, then you are with someone else and they like not their body type, like the opposite. Are you gonna change yourself based on what someone else wants or based on what you want?
And it's exactly like being told, oh, I need you to change this so that you look attractive for me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do you really love your partner? Because I know people who would swear that I want someone who's tall and with brown eyes or whatever, and then they end up with someone with completely different looks and they're fine. Because it's like, that's unconditional love. Because like, when we want something for someone else, a lot of the times it's because we're projecting something within us. It's that, I don't want to look that way. I hope I don't go back to looking that way, you know, something like that. So I don't see why I would ever like sit and want and wish like someone looked differently, because like when I approach a person, I approach them with love and I see them with love and I love everything about them. I don't need them to look a certain way for me to think that they're prettier or good enough, right? So that's my take on it. Because, like, the thing is with love and SP stuff, the thing that I see a lot is, like, I want to change this about their looks, their personality, the way that they think, the way that they show up. It's like, do you even want them? You know? Do you even want this person? Because, like, there's nothing that you like about them, you know? I'm not saying specifically where the person will ask this question. It's just a thing that I see a lot of times. It's like, do you want to be with this person because you want to be with them? And you can select a desired version, but are we approaching it from as this version is not attractive, I don't want it, you have to change for me, because you're not changing anyone but yourself at the end of the day. You change, the world mirrors that. Someone said, if I may add, there was this one girl who basically manifested her body by talking about how much she loved this and that. Like, example, I'm so grateful I have pretty big lips and that stuff. There we go. I think honestly most people don't get results because they don't stay it there till the end. Like, you cannot say, I look this way, I love myself, and then do the opposite completely, you know? And then try to hide yourself and then try to talk yourself down, you know? So if we just like cut to the chase, that's when things happen. A lot of these questions have already been answered. Like, can I manifest clear skin by eating whatever we want? We already answered.
With this, I want to say, like, obviously you can manifest clear skin by eating whatever you want, but I want to say, like, from my experience, this is another thing that I co-created, right? So I love lactose, I love milk, I love cheese, and I've always consumed these foods. But at a point in my life, I was like researching online, like, what things give acne, and it was like lactose, like milk, cheese, you cannot eat this because blah blah blah, you're lactose intolerant or stuff like that. And I started telling myself I'm lactose intolerant, and I never had this problem before, right? So I was like, whenever I was consuming like milk or whatever, I swear, I'm not kidding, like in 2 minutes I'll get a new breakout. How's that possible? Like, I was like, how this is possible? And I started believing I was lactose intolerant. And one day I was like, I'm done I'm not lactose intolerant. I can consume cheese and milk and blah blah blah. I can consume these things that I love, and my skin looks beautiful. And I started telling that I was anxious about it. I admit I was very anxious about it, but I kept telling myself everything's fine. My skin is clear. My skin is beautiful, and now I can consume these things without any problems. Junk food too. If I want to eat junk food, I don't think anymore, oh, this is gonna give me breakouts. I used to think that way. So I was very restrictive with my diet. I used to consume, like, at a point I was vegetarian for my skin, then I was vegan for my skin, then I was I don't know what for my skin. But then I was telling myself, you know what, I think I'm manifesting this, and I just should create this for myself, that I can consume whatever, I can eat whatever, and my skin stays beautiful and clear. So definitely you need to work on that mindset.
And I'm saying this also applies to anything. Like, I'm seeing people ask, what about long hair? What about height? It's all the same. When I say your dream body, I don't just mean gaining or losing weight or muscle. It applies to everything. So less questioning of can I, and more of I'm going to do it. And it's interesting what you said, because like I mentioned this 100 times on my page, and I don't know if this client is here, but I have a client who literally reversed an autoimmune disease. Like, how mind-blowing is that? And a lot of times I've also seen that the physical stuff that we have is linked to emotional stuff, and I know Louise Hay talked about that in Body Talk. It's like the metaphysical side of things. And I know that there are also studies that now show that, for example, let's say, you struggle with like issues with like your jaw, or say double chin, whatever. A lot of times it's linked to you have always like struggled to maybe speak up or express yourself. And so when people heal that emotional thing, that physical like jaw problem heals as well. And I've also seen like things about weight and the protective mechanism and all that stuff. So, and from experience, I noticed like when I'm working on myself, different areas of my life just like work together, one thing at a time, one thing at a time. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna let you answer this first, and then I'll answer it. So someone said, I always get compared with my sister by my relatives in terms of beauty and body standards. What would be the correct mindset and how to deal with such situation?
Okay, compared with someone else, especially like family. Yeah, I can resonate. Used to happen. Well, your mindset. Well, you should, if there's like, if you're feeling like this is a competition, I feel like you should, extract yourself from that, thinking that this is a competition with your sister, because it's not. And your beauty and hers, like, they don't have to be like separate. How can I explain this? Like, if she's beautiful, doesn't mean that you cannot be beautiful. And this, in terms of like, family and their projection, it can hurt, but we really have to develop this resilience that no matter what anyone says or believes about you or compares you with whoever, whatever, it doesn't have to affect you as much. Yes, it can hurt at a level, especially when it's about your, family or someone in your family. It can hurt even more, but you can develop this, it doesn't matter what someone else says, because what I believe matters more, and it does. And this reminds me of things that I didn't believe I was able to do, just because others were telling me they were impossible. And even like in terms of beauty and everything else, it's impossible, this is not true, you're crazy. No, what you believe, what you think matters most. And you can create whatever mindset you'd like, whatever mindset helps you most with dealing with whatever.
Yeah.
And well, ignoring these things is like the best thing you can do. But ignoring, first of all, for your mental health, so like it doesn't affect you mentally.
Yeah.
But then you're like, no, I'm less than this person just because someone else says. No, you are not less than anyone.
I would approach it in like 3 ways. Number one, I would see it as, first of all, what is this triggering inside of me? So when I'm told I'm not pretty, what is happening within me? Do I feel insecure? Do I believe them? Do I question myself? Because if so, that's what needs to be worked on. 2, I can also see it as like, you know what? They are beautiful. They're right. They're beautiful. And so am I.
Yes.
And because they said that to me, I'm going to get more embodied in me seeing myself as beautiful, in me seeing myself as good enough, in me loving myself regardless, you know? So it's like taking what was said to you and turn it into something that puts you in a power position. Like, nobody tells me how to feel about myself. I choose not to live in a world where people compare each other. I'm not going to compare myself to anyone. And that's also, that could be the reflection here, that maybe part of you, compares themselves to others. So looking at that as well. And then lastly, boundaries. Boundaries internally and externally. I'm no longer talking to myself that way. And if anyone says this to me, I'm removing myself from the conversation, So it's like you need to step back into power and also realize that this is an opportunity for me to stop comparing myself, see the other person, yes, as beautiful, and so am I, So that's what I would say. What did Rozana change about her appearance? I don't know if you watched the live from the beginning, but I talked about since last year I dropped 20 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds. I think 35, 40. And I made changes with my skin as well, where I always had acne because I've been diagnosed before with PCOS. So. Hello, PCOS ladies, sisters, I hope this helps you. Let us know if this answered your question. Someone's beauty doesn't have any impact on your attractiveness. Hell yeah.
True.
Yeah. And it's not even a competition. Like, someone else having what you want, looking a certain way, doesn't negate the fact that you're worthy, that you're good enough, that you're beautiful. So they can say whatever they want to say. I will still feel about myself however I want to feel. That's how I turn it into a power position. So hope that helps. Okay, so I'm not answering any SP questions. That's why I didn't get to the questions where we're creating people. I'm talking about self-love by image today. So if there's a question that's related to that, just like the last 2 minutes or so, please post the question. Any can-I questions, the answer will always be yes. So let's just, get straight to the point. So I'll just open the floor for any question that was missed. Anyone wants to repost it? Anyone who has anything specific they want to ask? This was fun, by the way.
Yes, it was. We should do more.
Definitely, yeah. I definitely love to get into more like manifestation topics. For pregnancy, they ask one to actually make you go on a diet. How to conceive without any such overthinking. I'm not sure I understand your question. Are you like asking you want to like have a child without gaining weight? Because if that's the question, my answer is like being okay with it, with your body changing. Because like you not being okay with how you look or what could happen is what manifests it to happen. Because that is the resistance here. That's where you're saying, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. It's like when I tell you right now, do not think of a pink elephant. No matter what, do not think of a pink elephant.
That's what I wanted to say. And I wanted to say exactly pink elephant.
Follow your doctor's orders, follow the health, and know that at the end of the day, it's temporary. It's 9 months, It's like, focus on your true desire here. The true desire is for you to become a mother, for you to have that child, to bring that beautiful child into the world. So the stress around having to look a certain way all the time, that's exactly what we were talking about. Like, nothing wrong with putting on some weight as a pregnant woman. And like when you look back one day, it's gonna be this thing that you remember that's beautiful. Oh, like I remember when my belly started to grow, and you start to hear, my child kick and things like that, So fall in love with that experience instead of trying to control so much how you have to look. Hope that makes sense.
I agree.
Alright, so I think that's that for now. So for anyone who is looking to work on their relationship with their body, their body image, manifesting their dream body, I'm opening up soon 5 spots only for a 6-week bootcamp that's focused on that specifically, where we work together live for 6 weeks. And the enrollment opens next week. So if you want to stay tuned, keep following me, and send me your email as well, so that you get the inside scoop on the pre-sale and the VIP option to also work one-on-one. Do you have anything right now that's that you're working on, that you're releasing?
Currently, well, I'm focusing a lot on my passive manifest physical appearance course. So if anyone likes to know exactly step by step how I've manifested my physical appearance and how to manifest yours, with practical exactly what I've done, you can look at it in my website. I think it's linked on my profile, the course. And yeah, that's what I'm focused on mainly, because module number 3 and the last will come. This is a course that's 4+ months of practice of what you should be doing to manifest your desired appearance. And I like to focus on the emotional aspects as well, and your self-concept, obviously, with the things that I've done over trial and error with what worked, and now mentioning what didn't work.
Beautiful. For now, you can access a freebie. It's available in the link in my bio, or you can message me the word freebie and I'll send it to you. It consists of a 10-page workbook that helps you with uncovering your limiting beliefs about your self-love, your body image, and anything else. And there's also a 15-minute meditation that helps you really get into the vibe and start transmuting these insecurities and start feeling beautiful, confident, and in love with yourself again. So DM me if you want that, and make sure you follow Tabitha if you're coming from my end. Just click on.
Make sure you follow her if you come from my end.
Thank you. This was so fun. I'm excited, and yeah, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for being here,
everyone.
Thank you for agreeing to do this. It's been fun.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. See you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye.